I called this meeting so that we could go over, things that were positive for us, things that were negative, and then things that basically we just need to stop immediately, and then the plan for our next wipe. Um, I just want to start out by saying that basically we as a group kind of control our destiny and success with effort. Period. I know some people are going to be able to put more effort in than others due to real life circumstances. Um, yeah, and here's a question that I want everyone to be asking themselves throughout this meeting, and at the end of the meeting, we'll kind of see what everyone really wants out of this clan. And the reason I'm asking that is we have guys put 50, 60 hours a weekend, which is much as some of us do for our full-time job. So, we sacrifice going out with our friends, girlfriends, all kinds of shit, to win. So I just want y'all to be thinking about that as we go through this meeting. And I kind of want to do a recap meeting like this, every week so that, hopefully they'll get super short. We'll only go over a few little things. Um, and, I want everyone to know that, like, I'm okay with losing as long as we learn from our mistakes. If we're gonna repeat the same shit over and over and over, I mean, it's just fucking retarded. I mean, and it's gonna drive some of us fucking nuts, and I'm not willing to do that. But if we're gonna learn from our mistakes and get better, I mean, that's part of growing as a clan. Um, so some of the we'll start kind of the positive notes. We started out a really rough wipe. It was late to the party. Real estate was hard to come by. We kind of came together. Especially in a couple raids where some shit was nuts. So I want to say that that was some definitely some good things, positive things. We're working through some growing pains right now, and all in all, I mean, with new people and stuff, I felt like we worked well together and communicated, especially with our first wipe. Um, some other positive things were LSD. As big as they are, they fucking they called in like 8 to 10 people to help them last night when there were 6 or 7 of us. So I mean, if that says anything, they were talking all that shit last night, but if that says anything about what they felt like they had to do to make sure that they won that online, I mean, so just keep that in mind when we also had people that had to take exams and internet problems and other things. So what, they got to get the spoils of war for one day. My whole thing is pride, right? That's why I was there till 3 o'clock in the morning. So, and I wanted to see how they attacked that base and how we could defend that base. So um there's a lot of negative stuff that and like I said, this all kind of comes with growing pains as a clan. We farmed very little as a clan. And I would like to give some people some recognition for farming a lot. Blazin, Gizmo, John, and Derp or Bevo, they did quite a bit of farming in Mithril. Pull him down here. And Mithril farmed a lot. So those guys, and me and Mithril and Sin did a shit ton of building, right? So you're either doing one or the other. It's really hard to do both. Because they building fucking wears you out, especially when you do it for hours on end. So I just wanted to give some recognition to some guys. And hopefully as we go through this, everyone puts in their effort to farm. Um, so there's some things that that we need to address kind of immediately. I don't know if people really realize this, but every time you take a gear kit out, that's 20 sewing kits, including leather, the clothes, and everything. So, with that being said, and we have some good PvPers, and that's fine. I think our PvPer guys that go out and go to counter raids and PvP, that's fine, but they need to collect some gear kits and back off and get that gear back to base, instead of just, go, 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 go. It's okay to back out after you kill a couple of people, back out, TP back to base and come back. Or build yourself a 1x1, dude. Throw that shit in there and set a home. All of us have saboteur kits, dude. You have 6 homes. The way I have my stuff set up is, 1 through 3 is our bases. 6 is always our raid base, and 4 and 5 or whatever I want to do it. Like whatever system you need to have, but we, especially Thursday through Saturday morning, we can't afford to go out and lose a shit ton of gear kits. We lost the desert fight. We lost 10, 12 gear kits. And we hadn't had a raid yet, so we were in a very vulnerable position. And I knew it was going to be hell, taking that. So, we lost. That's that. We come up raid. Anyway, just keep that in mind Thursday through Saturday, because putting the clan in a good position where we don't have to worry about, every little gear kit and every little thing is kind of the whole point. It's this whole game is a resource war, you know and setting up bases, putting yourself in a position so that you can take advantage of the boom boxes and to be places quickly. Um, so some other things that we didn't do very is keeping furnaces running and smelting our farm. I can't tell you how many times I went into the TC and people had done farm or whatever and just threw shit in the TC. Like, okay, like it's our job as a clan, everybody's job to keep the furnaces running. Without charcoal, there is no explosives, which means, I mean, we can't blow anybody up. So John did a hell of a job keeping. I don't know if y'all know this, but we had a shit ton of charcoal because John was keeping his furnaces running in his little cave. So it's things like that and these are little things. Like these are like the basics of rust, like charcoal, dude. Like wood is the cheapest fucking easiest thing to get. Like there's no, and especially we'll have chainsaws. There's no reason why we're not keeping things, keeping the furnaces running, even if there's nothing in it. I want them running. The charcoal's gold. You see all those people in the chat, when it comes Sunday night and Monday, where they're like, "I'll buy charcoal, I'll trade sulfur, whatever you want for charcoal." But I mean, they're just as precious as sewing kids, especially on a 3 times server. So building effort main base is like probably number 1 on the list. These were not in a particular order. I was just kind of putting things together as we were going along through the wipe. But there's, I mean, it was Tuesday night and our base still wasn't battle ready. I guarantee you, if that base was battle ready last night, LSD wouldn't have had the last lap. I don't care how many dudes they had. And this is not a this wipe thing and we were late to the fight kind of thing. This has been the theme for the last wipes. We do some massive builds. I know a couple of the guys are new that were a part of an alliance that we had, and they drove by our base on a boat or got close to it. They got 14 frames, which is how big it was. And there was turrets everywhere. I mean, that's how massive this thing was. Okay, can you imagine trying to raid a base like that? Well, dude, we have to finish bases faster. So that we can go have fun at this game. The whole point of this game is to raid bases and kill people, right? But you can't do that unless you get all the boring shit out of the way, right? I mean, do you think Sin enjoys building base for forever? And do you think we enjoy, like, hey, we need this farm, or we need to farm metal so that we can get this shit done? No, nobody likes that, but we need to get it done so that we can protect our loot. I mean, it's that simple. The faster we get that done and put ourselves in a position, dude, the more counter we can do, and the more people we can wipe out. And the faster we wipe out some of these bigger clans, the easier our shit's gonna be. So I want y'all to we're gonna do a better job in the leadership category and the captains to delegate things and to try and organize things in a fashion where, okay, these guys are farming, these guys are building. If you want to build, speak up. I mean, there's plenty of honeycombing to do. Basically all you got to do is follow the lines. I mean, it's pretty easy. So if you want to do one or the other, we just need to make sure that if we have all the resources that everyone is building when we're doing that, you're not off PvPing or whatever. And I'm not saying that happen. It just we need to do this as a group, knock it out, and move forward, so that we can focus on the next thing. The fighting, yelling, and screaming at the no parade. I mean, everyone was there, so I mean, yeah, everyone has a job to do on whatever team they're on. And basically the way we have it set up is we have a sniper team that's protecting the breach and watching the roofs for jumpers. We have a breach team that basically is making sure that counter raiders are dealt with and that our raid base isn't pushed on and attacked. And we'll also make sure that the courtyard and the breach point is clear, so that Boom Team has an easier job. All they have to do is deal with the people in front of them, right? They don't have people coming up behind them and killing them. It's a pretty simple setup. Just do your job. If you're on breach team and you're caught inside with the Boom Team checking loot, well, all right, you're gonna lose moderator privileges for a wipe. That's bullshit. Do your job. Like, and the reason a lot of guys are on certain teams is because they have good gun skills, right? There's a reason certain guys are on certain teams and are doing certain jobs, because it makes sense. So, if you're on that team, there's a reason. So there's a value there for, you're either a good sniper, or you're a good peer, or you're experienced with explosives, or you good, like, whatever, right? So just know that. But we're not gonna take and we're not gonna have this fucking chaos where people are yelling and screaming at each other. There's a chain of command, and that chain of command is basically me, Sin, and Blazin are trying to lead this clan the best we can. And then we have Mithril and Ronnie and Jim Jam, Gizmo and Adam as our captains. So the if they ask you to do something, then you need to do it. There's usually a reason behind it. Okay, so we have a chain of command in combat for a reason. I mean, it's just war. So follow the chain of command, everything will be good. But things are a lot of times it shouldn't come down to that, right? So the rage quitting and negativity bullshit, that's just gotta stop right now, dude. That will kill any clan. Dude, nobody wants to fucking get online and play with a bunch of dudes who are negative and talk down to each other and yell and scream. And this kind of plays into that. Dude, when you're gonna die in this game. I promise you're gonna die in this game. And this yelling and screaming and like shit, and blaming other people because you died. Well, dude, accept it, dude. You died. Like, nobody wants to hear that shit. So, take your L, go get your stuff, or come back out there with other stuff and fight harder, dude. Like I said, you're gonna die. There's always gonna be somebody in a better position who gets half this game is getting the drop on people and patience. It really is. So do it better. But we don't want to hear that. That's got to stop, like, right now. Especially if we're like, we have a lot of people now. The comms need to be cleared. Sometimes we're not all in the different channels for an online raid or whatever. So, and especially if we're doing a big counter, it's easier to have people all in one channel so that we can get information right there. So the more comms are directed at guys on top of the mountain, and this kind of comes back to communication. So, he's over there. He's over there. Well, where in the hell is over there? Like, we have to do a better job of communicating to each other, period. So, and this will get better as we play with each other more, but be thinking about those kind of things. Since we're kind of on the communication mic stuff, people burp and snort and fart and all kinds of weird mic. Like, I really don't want to implement a push to talk, because we're playing a first person shooter and communication needs to be like real time. and it's hard to get stuff real time when you have to use both hands unless you have a good mouse where you can just click it. I know some of you guys don't have good mouses, so if we have to do that, we absolutely will do it. So this is basically like, hey, respect your teammates ears and stop. Like, it's gross, nobody wants to hear it, it's distracting, so stop. um the researching items Thursday through Saturday. The reason, like, we're not trying to control who has what. We're trying to be efficient with scrap, and that's it. They have the new outpost thing where you can buy turrets and stuff. Obviously, and we'll kind of get into the plan. But usually Blazing is on Thursday, so Blazing will be learning whatever items we need to get out onto the battle for farming or for protection of sulfur base while we're putting it up. Whatever, basically, if you get an item that is an armor piece, and everyone should know what, I mean, if you know by now, what's the upgrade, and you're running around with a road sign armor, and obviously nobody else has it, you don't have to research. Well, you're doing the clan a disfavor at that point. We need to get that to Blaze so he can research, so he can make some for everyone. If you go out and die with that piece of armor, well, you just did that farming and got that piece of iron. So same thing with weapons. We need to do that with, the key items that we're after: Stonewall, Survey Charge, Stone Gate, any SR, Tommy gun, coffee can, road signs, obviously metal. We get metal gear, but those are the kind of key pieces that we get those things. We also need a blackjack with mining for it. If we get those things, we're ready to go build our sulfur base. The faster we get those items and get that stuff traded, like you get one of those items, you trade it back to base right there, or home and back, whatever. And it's valuable. And the faster we do that, and we play, it's a race. Whoever gets the guns come up basically can put themselves in better position faster with the primitive warfare that's going on out there. So, I think we kind of talked about the mic stuff. There are people on here on the mic that I can't tell you how many times we got on and like, hey, have you ever heard this most obnoxious sound in the world? And like, it's like dolphins dying or some shit, dude. No, don't do that. Like, we have some young kids here. There's also a lot of grown ass adults who come. Like, it's time to put that shit away. If you want to be part of this clan, dude, you gotta get rid of that shit. That's over. Playing with your 13, 14-year-old buddies. That's out the window. Okay. It's ridiculous. It's gotta stop. So I've caught a lot of people logging off with half an inventory full of meds, or like 30, 40 meds, and a whole 250 stack of high velocity ammo. Like, if you make the ammo, I think that you'll realize how fucking expensive high velocity ammo is, especially incendiary. It's expensive. It takes gunpowder. It takes a lot of resources to make that, and you go out and die in one shot, and boom, you just gave somebody a 250 stack of high vol and 30 meds. Realistically, you should be taking a stack of 5, some food, some cloth, maybe 10 meds, tops, and 60 to 90 rounds. If you're a pretty good shot and you're one of our good PvPers, take 90 rounds. If you're an average, you probably want to take 60 shots. I would rather people have to run back to base to get more ammo than dying with all this ammo. Because you have to remember, everything you die with, this is a resource war. You're feeding our enemy and giving them more stuff. So keep that in mind. Not wasting resources and more stuff for us to farm. So please, this is all for everyone, right? I feel like we shouldn't even be having it. A lot of these kind of things on the list, but since we have them, hopefully we're not gonna have to deal with this stuff next week. Is the whole idea. Some things that that need to be addressed that we already kind of have addressed. Remember, follow the chain of command. No bodily sounds, burping, You know, when an officer asks you to do something, do it. Apparently, there was some shooting of people building. They're shooting out the twigs. They thought it was funny, or shooting them while they were building with friendly fire on or off. Come on, guys. These guys, I mean, first of all, the fact that you're shooting somebody building and you're not doing a damn thing, that's ridiculous. Like, it's like common sense, dude. Like, you're doing nothing, go help. Like, so, you know, everyone needs to farm. I'm kind of to the point, you know, where I'm gonna give it one more wipe, and people are they're gonna help farm and put in their effort, or we're gonna put in a system in place where we can see who's doing what. And I'm not. I don't think it's, you know, we can put us. Okay, you have to do X amount of farming, but we want to see who's contributing. I mean, we're a team. You know, if you ever played on any kind of sports team and you had a team member who never showed up to practice, well, you resented the shit out of that guy, right? Especially if he didn't perform well. Same kind of thing. You know, farming is a large portion of this game. There are clans out there who have dudes that do nothing but farm. You know, we really don't have that. You know, we have a lot of well-rounded players that do a lot of different things. We also have a lot of guys who are good at PvP. I want all of our guys to contribute so that other guys don't feel like, well, he does nothing but run around in PvP. So, you know, do yourselves a favor and do the clan a favor and help contribute the farm. I don't ever hear this. I hear a couple people here do this. You know, they say, hey, who wants to farm with me? I hear people like, hey, who wants to go counter raid? There's booms. You want to go? Why aren't we doing that farming? We should be going out in pairs. Like, dude, you're gonna get plenty of PvP farming. I guarantee you. You know, and everyone should carry a damn pickaxe on them when they see a node. Hit the damn node. It takes 20 seconds. It's so fast. Next thing you know, and you picked up a few of those little blocks on the ground, dude. Next thing you know, you got 10K metal. You know, like it's fast, dude. Farming doesn't have to be boring. You know, like me, Blazing, and a lot of people, that's what we do. We go roam and farm, and we get PvP. People try to kill us. Okay, well, we fight them. Let's go back to farming. Everyone needs to be doing that. The humor is kind of a couple of people were with us a couple of wipes ago. You know, some kind of kid that thought swastikas was funny. It's not. We're not going to tolerate any kind of racial anything. You know, I'm not going to put up with it. You know, honestly, from a clan perspective, like, I have no problem with y'all talking shit in chat or whatever. I think it's funny. Some of us do it really well. But please refrain from the race stuff. I mean, honestly, like, we don't want to be labeled as those guys. You know, not only that, there should be none of that stuff in the clan. There should be no calling people like autistic or fags, or you shouldn't be insulting your clan. Period, dude. We're a team. We're a family. It's one thing. Like, you know, there's a couple of us that have a pretty good relationship with each other. Been playing with each other for a while, and we're ragging on each other a little bit. Be careful of who you do that to. If you don't have a relationship with a guy, you barely know somebody, you're ragging on him like that. Come on, dude. Like, get a clue. We're almost done here, guys. So the last piece here, and that basically kind of sums up all the issues that God damn it. I can't hear anything. All right, so the last piece we're going to talk about is like basically the plan for the wipe. It's pretty simple. We're gonna build a starter base. I got it.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah. No, so I couldn't hear over the damn turrets. Every time I got away from them, they followed me. So we're the first thing is we're gonna put a starter base in the desert, and we all need to call in some kit bases so that we can put down just a few TCs to kind of secure some real estate. I know we don't know where the quarries are gonna pop up, but other clans were securing spots. We can always remove the TCs when it's time for us to go to build quarries. But if somebody else gets it, while we're out farming barrels or whatever, and secures a lot of real estate with TCs, well, we're up shit creek because we're not gonna have all the booms to clear that. So I would rather have a whole bunch of TCs protecting a large area than not, right? I know Thursday is going to be some hard work if we put in the effort. And again, it all kind of comes back to however much effort we put into this, however much success we're going to get back. And it kind of goes back to that first question to you. What do you want out of this plan? If you guys want to casually get on and build a base half-ass or whatever, and play like that, and if we get wiped out in 2 days, we can rebuild. Or if y'all want to do that, I'm okay with that. Like, if y'all want to be a serious brand and y'all want to win and y'all want to dominate servers and y'all want to be top dog, well, it requires some work and effort. And I'm okay with whatever y'all decide to do. If y'all decide y'all want to casually do this thing, I'm not going to spend 50 week, doing what I've been doing. Because this is basically turned into a job, for a lot of us. So, you know, we need to secure the first thing, secure the desert starter. Um, and I'll ask here in a little bit at the end, as soon as I finish up all these things, who kind of wants to build what, and we'll kind of organize, who's building which base, so that we can, as soon as the server hits, boom. Because the longer the server goes on, the harder shit gets to be built, because people, it's chaos. People run around, help me, and there's gonna be clans out there too that are organized, that are gonna be fighting for certain spots too. I can tell you right now, the desert's gonna be a war zone. It's gonna be a war zone. So if we have guys, like, it probably needs to be all hands on deck in the desert right off the get go, protecting those TCs up, call in all our kit basics right there and get it done. Um, and then we need to get up launch, dome, and airfield, so we can have TP bases. Like I said, the sooner we put those bases up, and I want those bases secure. I think a lot of the guys who've been putting those bases up in the beginning, minus the last wipe, that they know kind of what we're expecting from a starter base. Starter bases should have honeycomb. We shouldn't be door raided really quickly or blow through one wall and get our loot. Our starter bases are basically setting the wipe up for, because a lot of sulfur farming, there's a lot of farming that gets done Thursday that, if we lose, man, we're set back a day. If we do this right, we're going to be a half day ahead of everybody, which means we can blow them up faster than they can blow us up. We need to, after we get kind of bases secure, we need to farm scrap, armor, guns, booms, and get the BPs to blazing. Once we get the essential BPs to start setting up the quarry base, it needs to be all hands on deck on the quarry base. We've done it before where we build those squares. Once we toss the surveys and we get our quarries up, we'll build our stone squares around those things and build out one layer so that we can't be laddered up on real quick. We'll put our, hopefully we'll have some extra scrap, or we find, a couple of turrets. It'd be fine to couple turrets. But if we don't, we hopefully we'll have some extra scrap where we can go buy from the outpost so that we can basically be running our quarries at night. If we don't have turrets, we can't run our quarries, because basically we'll just be giving away our low grade. People will ladder in and they will steal that shit at night. It will happen, I promise you. So if we can do that good and we can work together as a team, well, we're gonna have a fun wipe. It's gonna be real fun. We're gonna be blowing people up a lot. So the next thing is, I would like to find a cave base, and this is kind of open for you. If we can find one, spreading loot is important, especially in the first couple days until we can get main base secure. Cave base is probably going to be the most secure thing we can build, resource wise, effectively. We can basically call in all our kits in the cave, armor that whole thing up. So basically what we do is you just put a couple airlocks down on that thing, wall in behind the airlocks, and then TP to the cave. Everybody calls in their kits, I'll build out a cave base real quick that it will be hell for anybody, and we'll have our loot super secure until we can get main base up Friday night. And that's kind of open for discussion, but that's what I'd like to happen. It's worked out well for us in a lot of wipes. That used to be basically like our like go-to thing before we'd even call in the kids. So and we've already kind of talked about this, but effort on the main base and building. I would like all the building done by like Saturday early morning. If we have to, I mean, I know a lot of the guys will stay up until noon or whatever and get that damn thing done. I know a lot of you guys go to bed at midnight or whatever, 1 or 2. There's a lot of us that if we have the resource and everything to do it, then we'll knock that thing out. We just need manpower. There's only even with B grade, there's only so much and so much you can do on honeycomb so fast. A lot of it is resource dependent too. Our kits are a start on the main base, right? Our kits are not. Oh, we don't have to farm. You know what I mean? Our kits basically help us get the damn thing started and off the ground pretty quick. So I don't know if people thought, oh well, I have a $50 kit. Well, that's what I provided in my company. Well, okay, that's a start. I don't know if anybody was at the base we were getting raided last night. It took LSD 5 hours to get into it. And that base wasn't even as big as we've had it before. So we didn't even have the stone. We didn't have quarries in the stone on top of that armor. Yeah, I mean, if you think about that, it probably would have been a longer raid for them than that. So, it's important for us to have a solid main base. And a lot of us are kind of trying to figure out, what the best way is to build that. It's a work in progress. So I don't want anybody to think that, oh, well, we got raided last night, it doesn't work. That's not the mindset. Obviously we can do things and make things better. So, does anyone have any questions? That it kind of sums up like everything I wanted to. Well, hey, before we do that, do any of the officers have anything they want to add or think I missed or is important?
Yeah, I'll add a few things. Uh, we can only make the base as secure as we can. At the end of the day, and there's no such thing as an unraidable base. With enough resources, they'll get it anywhere. So, I kind of wrote it out in the chat, but people need to take the time to learn the fucking base. Even if you didn't build it, even if you don't like using it, or even if you think it's confusing, you need to learn it. Not only do you need to learn it, but you need to utilize everything built along with it. I can only do so much in a day. I can only put so many goddamn beds down and assign things. I can only make so many loot rooms, and that's even after building the goddamn thing. Like, people need to go out of their way, take 30 minutes, and place beds all around that bitch strategically for spawn points. There's no reason anybody should have had issues spawning anywhere last night. It's fucking Tuesday. It's 2 days left on the wipe. That base should have been ready to go. That's part of the building process, and that's something people got to do on their own in a sense, because I can't hold everyone's hand. Aside that, I also would probably say if you don't have a VIP kit, I know some of us are pretty generous. We touched briefly on the fact that obviously just a helping tool. It's not enough to get us by through the wipe. We need obviously farmers, but I think some of us are generous. If you're actually somebody that's putting an effort and a member, we will probably get you a VIP kit. So we need to have as many of those as possible on hand. And if you're not active in a wipe, if somebody went out of their way to buy you one, just take 5 minutes of the week, pop on, use it, that shit off in the chest, and log the fuck off if you have to. That little bit goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to add anything, Blazing? Are you finished? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You good? You good, Blazing? Do you have anything to add?
We need to utilize scrap runs more. Cause that's fucking dude. That you get so much scrap from the fucking propane tanks and all the fucking sheet metal and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they've been
especially on
coming
day
handy.
one.
Yeah, like the first day, dude, hit the scrap. You get a dude. You hit the recycler, you get a scrap.
No,
Other than that,
another thing to touch back on, like to go over a little in depth of what Blunt was saying. You know, I'm not a builder. I don't play this game to build. I do it because it's a necessity and we need it. And fucking, if we're gonna try to be, top dog, talk all this shit and, rate everybody, we need a defensive base. You know, I know some people want to design it, want to add things to it, want to make their own personal touches. I have no problem with that. But we have to think, security first. And, security first, and also I'd like to have the base up sooner than later in the wipe, so that frees up a lot of our time, and a lot more of us can rather and accomplish more throughout the wipe. Like I did almost no farming, not that I didn't want to, but I had no time. I was just nonstop building every damn day I logged on, and even then, it still didn't finish.
Yeah, and just to touch on that, I know some people, it was the flip side. They got on and did nothing but farm. They didn't have any, they had no other time but to farm. And occasionally, like, they would play, for, 24, 36 hours straight. And they finally, like, all right, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to go kill some people and have fun. Right? It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't. Like I said, we're a team. We're a family. Like, so let's work together. Let's knock this shit out so that we can all go do that.
And the more of us that are free, the more we can fucking get done, and the more likely chance is we will win fights, we'll fucking secure loot, and we'll actually get to raid more bases. I don't think we got to do that much raiding this fucking wipe at all.
Yeah, like 5.
I mean, if I didn't buy 100,000 GP and if fucking Blunt didn't buy the rockets, we literally would have almost had no booms to swipe either.
Probably.
We were a little on the EG street last 2 wipes because we had sulfurs running, and even that took a lot of time and work. Like people need to realize what's going into this, and I'm not asking you to do contribute what a lot of people are a lot of people aren't capable of sitting here for 10 hours straight and building or farming, doing shit. But try to we take notice even in the 30 minutes of you helping us. It goes a long way.
Well, and it kind of touched on it too. We're gonna get these damn 40s now. We're gonna do this shit. It's gonna be a fucking hell of a fight. We're gonna win this shit. And when we do, everyone's gonna need it.